Welcome back, everybody. Episode 3215 of the Cabral Concept. These are our Cabral house calls every weekend, answering our community's questions: wellness, weight loss, weight gain, anti-aging, longevity, high performance health, you name it. If it is about chronic health-based diseases of the body or trying to fully optimize your life, that is what this show is all about. Always excited to be able to answer your questions, and we're going to dive right in here today. Hopefully you tuned in to yesterday's show. We talked about some injury-based trauma from a fall. Want to check out that show of how I was able to get rid of an injury before as well, what I did specifically. We talked about a 2.5-year-old, how to improve the overall gut, little bumps in the back of the arm, especially if a child, if it had a C-section, etc., or formula fed. We talked about potential issues with the neck and cervical spine and how that might be leading to blood pressure issues and seizures. We also talked about healthiest kitchen utensils for cooking, and then hormone-based testing and what it all means, how blood compares to saliva. So let's dive now into today's show. First question is from Tina. As I always say, no prep is done ahead of time, just giving you my raw answers as if we bumped into each other at the Reimagine Health Summit or we had a consultation, whatever it may be. Let's dive right into it. All right. Tina's up first. Tina says, hi, I'm a huge fan of your podcast and almost finished with my level 1 IHP certification. Amazing, Tina. Happy to hear that you're part of the IHP community. Every year I complete the Big 5 and the gut test and work with an IHP level 2. I diligently follow all the protocols and all of my hormones are balanced, but I'm still struggling with a few symptoms. I was diagnosed with Raynaud's. The bottom of my hands and feet have been persistently yellow for 20 years. I take liver support supplements and receive glutathione IVs. Additionally, I suffer from constant nasal drip. I've been using neti pot with citricidal drops and have completed all the detoxes. I do sauna, dry brushing, lymphatic drainage, lymphatic massages, and weekly vibration plate. Can I get rid of the Raynaud's, yellow hands, and feet and nasal drip? What can I do to get rid of this? Thanks. Happy to help with this. So what I recommend now is you've done the Big 5 and basically everything is balanced, which is amazing. So let's just make sure the gut, all of those things are good to go. And so now I would look at what is left in the de-stress protocol, right? The diet, exercise, stress reduction, toxin removal, the emotional-based balance. Maybe we need to work on some stress. And why don't we stop there? So I'm going to talk about that because in my practice, the majority of people that I work with that have Raynaud's have a higher level of chronic stress. And it leads then to the more fight or flight, where the capillaries become a lot more restricted in the hands and feet. Now, sometimes it's from thyroid-based issues, but I'm assuming if you're running the Big 5 with the stress, mood, and metabolism, you would already see that ahead of time. So I think that's an important one to look at. Now, let's say that stress isn't the issue. Could this be an underlying histamine issue? Because a histamine issue could lead to the same capillary restriction because of inflammation and the postnasal drip or just nasal drip. So what I would look at is there a little bit of this histamine-based issue? So again, maybe for you, it looks like taking a little extra vitamin C and Hispro, maybe 2 capsules 3 times a day. Maybe you also find out when are you at your best? Like, does this postnasal drip come on just at night when you lie down? Like, is it triggered by that? Does it only start when you go outside? Is there kind of it's not vasodilation, but it's like that. It's and not vagal nerve. What is it I'm looking for? A dysautonomia is what it's called, where the nervous system's a little imbalanced. If that's the case, we could look into other things, which is something like a dynamic neural retraining system, DNRS, that might also be helpful as well, or even some somatic-based therapy to calm that nervous system. So there's so many ways to do this. Magnesium, adrenal soothe, liquid melatonin at night is just part of it. Like, that's just part. And the other part is actually like moving the body and how it moves and relaxing the nervous system. So, Tina, that's a great place to start, and hopefully that was helpful. All right, Maya's up next, or Mia. Hi, Dr. Cabral. Thank you for all you do in educating us on becoming the healthiest version of ourselves. Appreciate that, Mia. I've been struggling with gut issues for quite a long time, with the biggest issue being extremely sensitive, stomach pain, and bloating. I decided to do further gut testing and found out I have extremely leaky gut. Very low levels of beneficial bacteria, low secretory IgA, low butyrate as well, no dysbiosis or SIBO or candida. The issue is that I do not handle any prebiotics, no probiotics except Saccharomyces boulardii, and have extreme histamine intolerance. How do I fix the beneficial bacteria in leaky gut if I can't handle pro or prebiotics and have a limited diet? I get extreme stomach pain and immune reactions when I try to add them in. All right, so I can tell you for sure, you did not do any gut testing with us. So it is almost impossible to have extreme leaky gut, low secretory IgA, low butyrate, and low beneficial bacteria, but not have dysbiosis or SIBO or candida. Meaning like it's almost impossible. I don't know how. So if you have low beneficial bacteria, and again, this is not on you, Mia, this is on whoever you're working with as a practitioner, is that your intestines are not sterile. They can't be. There's no human life with sterile intestines. That does not work. So if you have low beneficial bacteria, that means that you either have to have really low negative, they call it commensal or negative bacteria, which you wouldn't have because the gut has to have growth in it. Literally, like you never have a barren garden, right? You never have just barren soil on your lawn. You either have grass or you have weeds. It's just not going to stay barren. That's not how life exists. Life grows, and it can grow negatively to weeds or beneficial grass. And also that if you have low levels of bacteria, then you're most likely going to then have higher levels of candida. So it's almost impossible to have no dysbiosis, because if you have low beneficial, you're going to have higher negative or higher candida. So I'm not going to, I can't give you results based on that or what to do because I don't think it's accurate. I just don't. We run so many labs. I don't know too many companies that have run, more than 500,000 labs. And so I can tell you that this is not correct. That's all. And I would either rerun it. I would run it with an IHP level 2. I don't want you to think that you need to work with us at Equilife. You can go to integrativehealthpractitioner.org, click on the practitioner page, choose an IHP level 2, and run the big 3 gut labs with them. That's food sensitivity, bacteria and parasite, and the Candida metabolic and vitamins test. And then what we do, and if you don't want to run the labs, I totally get it. So let's say you don't want to run the labs, you're like, I just want to get started healing my gut, totally fine. Tens of thousands of people and thousands of practitioners use the CBO protocol every single year. So you would do the CBO protocol with the citricidal drops. The citricidal drops for 3 weeks. You would get the specific instructions, and then you would ease back in the foods. And we walk you through the entire process. I even have a whole podcast just on how to complete the CBO protocol. It's all free. So hopefully that's helpful. You can go to stephencabral.com/CBO or just stephencabral.com/shop. Check out the big 3 labs, the gut bundle, and then check out, again, whatever is there to help you. But I want you to really get results. That's the thing, is that I've been doing this for a long time, and I don't like to sugarcoat anything. I just like to say, this is how it is. And I want you to get results. So let's get either accurate lab testing with an accurate plan, or let's just move right to the plan if you would prefer that. Okay? And working with a coach is going to be super beneficial. I mean, these people are experts. So again, either work with an Equilife coach or an integrative health practitioner level 2. They specialize in this. All right, Sophie's up next. I'm an active 42-year-old woman who has generally a healthy lifestyle. I've been experiencing heart palpitations a few to several hours after exercise in the late afternoon or evening. Symptoms include a dramatic increase in my heart rate and shortness of breath. Medical professionals have diagnosed non-sustained ventricular tachycardia. Blood tests returned normal results for my kidneys, thyroid, and electrolytes, and further tests confirmed no heart disease. I've been prescribed beta blockers, which doctors said may resolve the ventricular tachycardia. While I waited an MRI scan, what tests do you recommend to get to the root cause of the problem? What are your thoughts on beta blockers? Are there any natural herbs, tablets I could take instead of beta blockers? Yeah, but I mean, even taking a natural beta blocker or beta blockers themselves never gets to the root cause, right? I mean, you want to understand why. This has not happened to you your whole life. If I was working with you as a client one-on-one, I would say, when did this start? Okay, let's just say it was September of last year. Okay, Now we have a time frame, somewhere around September of last year. Okay, let's talk about what happened before that. Oh, I had surgery 2 months before that. Okay, what was the surgery? Oh, I had to have dental surgery, whatever. Okay, were you put on antibiotics? Yes, I was put on antibiotics. And so then we start to paint a picture of what the underlying root cause could be, which could be gut issues, imbalances in HPA axis now, higher levels of cortisol. This could be, for you, this could literally be a vasomotor dysfunction. This could be dysautonomia, which could certainly be one. This could be a drop in blood sugar, could be a drop in blood pressure 2 hours post-exercise. All of these things are possible. And so, okay, well, what would we do? Well, for the blood pressure aspect, we would have our pre-workout, post-workout to balance sodium levels and electrolytes. That would be important with sea salt. Let's say it was blood sugar. We would make sure that pre if needed, but definitely post-workout, we had some good, carbohydrates in there, because I don't know if you're on a low carb diet or what's going on, and that would fix the drop in blood sugar. If this is a cortisol stress-based issue, we would run the stress mood metabolism test. We would look at cortisol levels. We would use certain things, let's say like the adrenal energy support in the earlier AM, and then more of the adrenal soothe at night. So I can't give you exact results because I have no data in front of me, and I'm not able to ask you any questions. But I just gave you like 3 or 4 reasons as to what it could be, not a medical diagnosis, and certainly not a medical treatment plan, cure, or education or advice in any way. But simply put, there's always an answer. And so you just need to find your answer. And there's nothing wrong with doing a non-contrast MRI or any of these things to say, hey, what's going on? Like, that's what conventional medicine is great at. Is there an actual issue with the heart? Well, let's find out, right? You want to know. So there's nothing wrong with doing that. But going on beta blockers as a 42-year-old, for the rest of your life? And then look up like side effects with kidneys and all these different types of things in the future. So let's always find the root cause. In the short term, sure, we do whatever we need to. But in the long term, what's the long-term goal? Find the underlying root cause, rebalance it, get back to living a nice, healthy life. All right, Mark's up next. Hi, Stephen. Your podcast has saved my life, and I'm forever grateful. Thank you. Well, that's a big statement. Thank you, Mark. Appreciate that. And that obviously means a lot. That's why we do what we do here, my team and I. So Mark says, what's your opinion on a newish discovered fatty C15? The brand is Fatty15 and seems that it could replace fish oil. What are your thoughts on this fat? Thank you. You wrote in about 2 months ago, and then I went on. I meant it to be like so fair and so balanced, but sometimes it gets a little bit ranty because I'm very passionate about this field. And I want you to listen to the podcast, which I'm sure you already did. So let's see where it is, because I would love everybody to listen to this podcast. I never call out companies. I want you to know that. I've done this. This podcast is over, what's up for today's episode? 3215. Okay. So I've done 3,214 podcasts before today's. 3,200, if I said that incorrectly, 3,214. So I do not speak negatively about any companies, health companies trying to do good work. Sometimes I'll call out pharmaceutical companies. Yes, I don't think that they're doing the people's work. That's my opinion. There's a time and place for pharmaceuticals, and they can be life-saving, no doubt about it. But there are oftentimes they're not. So the podcast is episode 3169. I invite everybody to listen to that because Fatty15 could be a product that is absolutely amazing and fantastic, but we have no idea. And it's being promoted as if it's this like super nutrient that everybody should be taking. First of all, no human clinical trials using this product. Okay, so as of the recording of this podcast. Now, have they looked at C15, the healthy fatty acid? Yes. Does that have anything to do with their nutritional supplement supplementing it? No human clinical trials on that. Now, could it be phenomenal? Yes. But would it ever replace omega-3s? No. And that's where it's just, this company should not be marketing like that. It is so, I don't want to go on a rant right now. It's everything that this industry should not be. Everything this industry should not be. Now, maybe it's possible that the scientists on the website promoting it don't know that they use totally different pathways. So Fatty15 could be a very powerful anti-inflammatory and great product. Again, let's just get some human clinical trials. But even if it does, It doesn't work on the same prostaglandin pathway that EPA and DHA does from omega-3s. So you would never replace your omega-3s. That would be crazy. You would use them both because they work on two separate inflammatory pathways. So again, everything that's wrong with marketing in the supplement industry is being done right now by them. And again, like, I will take it back and promote that product potentially 3 to 5 years from now when we actually see some clinical research. Now, you might say, well, is there any clinical research behind omega-3s? Only 30,000 human clinical trials. Almost no nutritional supplement or food-based omega-3 has been studied more than omega-3s. And that's why I can very easily and confidently recommend it. And also, there's no patent on it. So Equilife has daily omega-3 support, but also a company like Thorne has their omega-3, right? You get to choose as the consumer. Fatty15, guess what? They own it. It gets a little dicey. So I want you to listen to the full show. I give you a full breakdown. I talk about all the science. I didn't mean to go on a rant. I don't actually like talking negatively about companies, but when you tell people something harmful, like this replaces your omega-3s, that is putting profits over people. And we never do that, nor should anybody ever do that. It's not the right thing to do. Now, again, they might just be misguided. Like, they might actually not know that it's a totally separate pathway. But I find it possibly hard to believe, but I give everybody a benefit of the doubt. Okay. Next up and last up today, I'm glad we're not ending on that one. Again, apologies. It's not who I like to be. I like to take the high road. I like to rise above, but it's people they do strong marketing. It's got a fun name. People know about it, but let's at least get some human clinical trials. And then let's be honest that it doesn't replace, has nothing to do with EPA and DHA and that pathway. So, okay. 10 is up next. Hello, my family and I are suffering from mold toxicity, orchard spray poison, and a rain barrel that is flooding over. We have recently relocated to get out of mold and orchard spray and need to replace our furniture. Is there a non-toxic brand of furniture that you would recommend? Specifically fabric couches. This is a great question. I actually have this planned as a potential topic in a couple weeks from now. So definitely stay tuned. I'm going to be doing a full podcast on this topic. And let me share with you a couple highlights though, and then we'll go into the full podcast. So there's a certification that you can look for. And it is called Green Guard. And when you're looking and shopping for mattresses and all sorts of different things or furniture, you can look for Green Guard. And there's an even higher one that I look for, which is called Green Guard Gold certification. And so I'll ask the companies, are you Green Guard Gold certified? And if not, why? And then maybe they have a good reason. So I like to give people the benefit of the doubt. And what I also then look for is no VOCs, which stands for volatile organic compounds, no flame retardants, and no PFCs, polyfluorochemicals, or PFAS, polyfluoroalkyl substances. So these are all things that I look for to make sure that there's no PVCs, there's no chemicals, there's no flame retardants, there's no VOCs. I look for it in paint. I look for it in mattresses. I look for it in furniture, just like you're talking right now. Now, with couches, you have to be careful because they'll oftentimes use a stain guard, and the stain guard can have some chemicals in that as well, some like different vinyls and other things of that nature. So those are just the quick highlights right there. And then on my upcoming podcast, because I like to do a lot of research for the individual shows, I'll be bringing to you at least a half a dozen companies, that'll probably be like 2 weeks from now, that I will and would look at in terms of purchasing furniture. For my family, we're always using, we use a lot of wood, like real wood. And so that's something we look at. And then for mattresses, you'll see on my website, we like the avocado as the best. Used to also recommend the Awara, and I think that they're still great. So there's a bunch of different brands that you can choose from. Those are all at stephencabral.com. resources. So those are all my favorite companies and resources. And again, like I said, I'll be doing a show in just a couple weeks. So great question. And love to see that there's interest in this. At the Reimagine Health Summit, we had a natural home builder on that went through all of their natural health tips. That book is called Healthier Homes, I think. I don't know yes, it's called Healthier Homes. So it's a great book to check out. I did it on a Friday Review podcast. Let me just see right here. Yeah, I was looking at their last name, Jen and Rusty Stout. Check that out on Amazon. It's a great purchase for anybody looking to build new or do a renovation. And they also have no VOC paints. So again, you can check out Healthier Homes. That's that. So hopefully today's show was helpful. I'll be back tomorrow with a brand new Motivation and Mindset Monday on the Cabral Concept. Appreciate you all. Thank you. Have a great rest of the weekend. Thanks so much for tuning into today's show. Before you go, don't forget to hit that subscribe button. I want to make sure that you're getting our daily content, not missing out on anything functional medicine, wellness, weight gain, weight loss, anti-aging, living longer, stronger, and all of the most cutting-edge research. And if there's any topics you want to hear, feel free to leave them in the comments below. Take care.